this point, you've probably seen this color adjusting foundation stick floating around the internet. It's all over the internet. It sucked me into purchasing it. So today we're going to find out if this is gimmicky or if it's genius. Grab your seats. It's going to go on white. We're going to see what the heck this does. And while we're at it, we're going to test out two other color adjusting products that are on the market. One is specifically designed to target redness, like excessive redness in your skin, to even that out. And the other one is going to be a color adjusting CC cream. And then while we're at it as well, we might as well just throw this product in too. This is also from the brand Elroel. This is the Pang Pang Sun Cushion. This is supposed to be a great, easy way to reapply your sunscreen on top of makeup throughout the day. We're going to find out. So let's get right into it. These are color adjusting, very, very viral. If you are on any other platforms other than YouTube, you're going to find these probably fed to you in your feed a lot. And if it's just me, let me know. But I've been fed this product so many times that I had to pick it up. There's 6 shades to choose from. And this is going to be a color adjusting foundation stick. Buildable coverage, and there is encapsulated pigments that are in this foundation sticks. So what that means is as you're blending this product onto your skin, those little capsules that are filled with pigment, basically, you're going to burst them, so to speak, and be left with color adjusting pigments that are going to adjust to your skin tone. That's the best way I can describe it. Now let's actually put this on my face. Let's see what this does. And let's do one side only to see what the impact is and what the coverage level is going to be like. Now, once again, I picked up the shade 202 Natural out of the 6 shades that were available. And let's just go for it. I'm going to do one entire side of my face. Okay, I think that should be enough. Let's blend part of this in with my fingertips, and the other part we're going to blend in with the actual brush on the other side of this applicator. And this is pretty nice packaging, by the way. I think it's pretty sturdy. It reminds you a lot of the LYS foundation stick and also the LYS No Limits cream bronzer. I love that component that it comes in. I think it's really nice. So this has a brush on the end, but the brush is very short, very small, and very stiff. Let's use this brush just to get the full experience. And let's blend this in on the chin. Now this has a very strong chemical-y smell to it that I'm not quite digging. And the brush is very draggy and very spiky on my skin. So it's also just taking forever to blend this out with the brush. Let's switch over to the 109 because it's softer. It's not leaving me all scratchy feeling and irritated. I'm just gonna do it quicker. So if this is, okay, what? Quite ghostly. Ooh.
There.
It doesn't look as bad in my mirror as it does in my monitor. My monitor, it's like terrifying. Okay, let me just rub this in. I just wanna see if my fingers and oh, it's pilling up now. Great. Okay, and I did have some sunscreen underneath it. Interesting. I almost feel like the warmth of my fingertip is activating the encapsulated pigment better than the brush did because of the warmth. Either way, this is not the applicator that I would choose. It's a dinky little brush that is very prickly. Let me just see what this looks like up close. On my nose, it actually rubbed in really well. So I picked up the 3rd shade out of the 6, like the 3rd deepest shade. And okay, it's looking better. But I feel like if the 3rd deepest is this light still, and I don't know if there's any hope for the deepest shade that's available, and there is a deep shade that's available out of the 6. I don't know what the point of this is, in my opinion. Yeah, it's color adjusting. It's actually warmed up a bit more to my complexion, but I just don't see what the point is. You could just go get a foundation that is your match or a CC cream that is close to your match, that it's at least, CC creams and tinted moisturizers. Those are at least they can be more on the forgiving side. So if you don't get the exact same color as your skin, if you get close to it, it's usually definitely passable. With this, I just don't feel like there's a point to it. If you're still not getting a good match, then what's the point, right? If you're not able to get your exact skin tone with this color adjusting technology, then I just don't see the whole point in buying something like this. That's just my opinion. It is quite glowy, very luminescent. It's definitely it's giving pilling, but it's also giving Casper in certain areas, around my hairline. It's like I was a ghost and then I tried to cover it up with some makeup, but my ghost is still popping through. I don't know. I just don't see the point, to be honest. Let's just try a little bit more because I want to see what this looks like under my eyes specifically, where I do have the most dark pigmentation. Let's rub it in with my finger. I almost feel like you really need to get in there and rub it, which I don't want to rub my face that aggressively. I'm not trying to cause more wrinkles to happen on my skin. So I wouldn't want to ever go in and rub.
Rub.
aggressively just to get this to look like my skin and to like have those encapsulated pigments burst. You know what I mean? It just seems pointless. Okay, final thoughts. I just don't know if I understand, you know, the concept and what the point is. Like, is it kind of working? It's kind of working now. It's looking more and more like my skin tone. I'm not seeing a huge color discrepancy from my neck. I am still seeing like the Casper pop through over here, but all in all, I just feel like it took a lot of elbow grease to get to this point when I just don't see what the point of that is. If you could still achieve a look like this by getting a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer or a CC cream or whatever it is that offers like, you know, that more forgiving amount of coverage, where if you don't find the exact shade that matches you perfectly, it's still very forgivable and passable. Those are a lot easier to work with just in general, just my opinion. So all in all, it's working out in the end, but I'm just not seeing the point. So if you've tried this, leave your comments below. I would love to hear what they are. Now I want to do something fun and let's see how well this actually did cover my skin. I'm going to take a Q-tip with some micellar water and let's go down my face, because a lot of people, when I was seeing this video of this product, a lot of people were using a piece of tape to cover up or to keep the foundation from going in that area. So that way when they applied the product all over their skin, they peeled it off, revealing how much coverage it actually does give you. So this will give me the same idea. I don't have tape close by or handy, so this will have to do. So with that said, here is the amount of coverage it actually did give me, which is not bad. It's like light medium coverage, which you could see that I clearly built up. I put quite a bit of product on to get this level of coverage. And it took, like I said, a lot of elbow grease and a lot of blending and rubbing to get this to look like my skin at least. But it did give me a bit of coverage. So here's my now looking pasty cheek compared to the actual foundation. Okay, all jokes aside, I just removed the Elroel color adjusting foundation stick. Now let's move on to our next contestant that we'll be testing out today. This is also color adjusting, which means it's going to go on pretty much white, like the white of my shirt and my background. To me, this is more of like the OG as far as like brands that have launched a product like this, at least to my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do have them in my head as like the originator of this kind of product. It's the brand Erborian. It's a Korean skin brand, as is Elroel. This is also a Korean brand. And from them, we have the CC Cream High Definition Radiance Face Cream. This is supposed to be skin perfecting, and it does have SPF 25 in it, which is, you know, it's something. It's some additional coverage, which is nice to have. There's only 3 shades available in this one. To me, this one is like the OG. I feel like I've seen this one time and time again. I feel like there's a lot of good reviews of this product. I have never tried, so it's gonna be a first impression for me. And I got the shade Door. There's only 3 available, and this one looked like it could be like it could work basically. Let's test this out. This is $46, quite pricey. Like I mentioned, this is going to go on white, so this is also going to have like the encapsulated color adjusting pigments in it. Let's try a different cheek. This one's definitely giving off a chemically scent as well. I don't believe it's actually fragrance, but it just kind of smells strong. The blend on this one is actually so much easier right off the bat, and it's looking like it's going to be a really good color match for me. So I am excited to not waste $46. This feels really nice, just first impression wise. Wow, the color is actually getting warmer and warmer as I'm rubbing it in. So maybe I could have gone for the lightest one. I went for the shade in the middle, thinking it was going to be a good match for me, but I probably, yeah, I should have gone for the lightest one. Who would have thought? I could probably make it work with concealer. Okay, so the coverage is really nice. I'm going to apply a little bit more and just see what this looks like on my forehead as well. The color activating, you know, aspect of this is activated so much easier with this formulation than it was with the stick formulation. Obviously, they're 2 different brands, so their ingredients and just I'm sure like their technology is slightly different, but also just like the actual vessel that it's in. Like this is a liquid versus a cream. Creams are thicker by nature, therefore they're, generally speaking, they're hard to like break down and to make more buttery and to like warm up the texture of them, whereas this one's, it doesn't need warming up. Essentially, it's going to go on your skin and warm up instantaneously. So for that reason, this one's just overall easier to use. I'd say it's more user-friendly by far. They don't have as many shades to choose from, so that is a big hiccup in purchasing this one versus the Elroel. So more options with Elroel, but this one's easier. It has SPF 25, which, you know, is nothing really to write home about, but it is there, which is kind of nice. I don't know. The coverage is really nice, and I'm getting more and more used to the tone of it, and the tone is really not bad. Like, if you held up my hands and my arms to my face right now, They're pretty close. This is just pulling actually pretty warm. It's definitely pretty warm. So I do wish I went for the lighter shade. Let's do the actual test where we see how much coverage this gave me. Stick a Q-tip. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I'd say it's about the same amount of coverage as the Elroel. Just easier to apply, like I said. Way easier to blend on. It's not as greasy as the Elroel too. That one felt almost borderline greasy on my skin. This one is drying down, like kind of like a nice satiny finish, which is nice, especially if you have more oily skin. This one's not going to feel too like goopy and greasy on your skin. This one feels much nicer. I do like this one overall better than the Elroel, but I do wish there was more shades to choose from because 3 is just not going to be it. And I did pick up clearly a color that's a little too dark. So had I known, I would have picked up the lightest shade that was available. But is it worth the money? I don't think so. I just feel like, again, pick up a good skin tint, go to CL, get a skin tint from CL that's going to match your skin without the technology, without having to rub it in too much, and that has SPF 50 instead of 25, because overall this is still pretty gimmicky and I just don't feel like it's that necessary to get this over a really good skin tint that's going to match you a lot more. So same thoughts as the Elroel, different application and different delivery method, but they're pretty much the same thing. So this one's also a pass in my opinion. Okay, now this next one is going to be geared for oily skin. More specifically, this is a gel, more lightweight texture. It's also from the brand Erborian. And I picked up the mini or the smaller size, because I wanted to get this shade in particular to test out. This is the lighter shade, and I'm happy that I got this lighter shade, considering that this second to lightest shade was too dark on me. But this is the mini size in the Erborian CC Water Gel Tint. Color adjusting. Let's try this bad boy on, and this is going to have a slightly different look to it. So let me show you on my hand. This is a clear gel, and you can actually see in this formula the white encapsulated pigments in the formula. So more visible. It's going to be a lightweight, more gel-like texture, so that's why this one looks different. Let's test this bad boy out. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, you can actually feel the gel capsules on this one. It almost feels like a liquid exfoliator on my skin. Huh, let's do some on this side. Do you see that? Clear gel with little white capsules in it. And this is supposed to be a fresh complex gel, and I got the shade Claire. It's definitely more gel-like. Ooh, this actually feels a lot like that one Chanel water something tints where it looks like a clear gel with capsules of foundation within the formula. This has that same kind of feeling. It's not really allowing me to blend without being streaky. Like it's just kind of moving around, but it's not really blending into my skin. That's a bummer. Oof. What am I doing wrong? Okay, I'm blending, I'm activating, I'm breaking the capsules. I can see the pigment. However, the pigment is just wanting to be moved around and spread. It just won't stay put. Like I keep just moving it. I can move it off. I could basically blend it right off onto my fingers. It's just not sticking. Okay. I really thought this was going to be a hit for my more oily skin. I just feel like my personal preference of what I like the texture of products on my skin to be, but it's just not doing it. It's just all streaks. Like redness and streaking, and now it's kind of drying down. It's feeling sticky. All right, let's try this side. Let's just see. Yeah, it just doesn't blend. Like quite literally, it just kind of moves around. It literally does not blend. Moving and grooving on my face. And not sticking and not doing anything. Like how much more blending can I do to make this work? Oh, this is a streaky mess. There's really barely any coverage with this one too. I'm kind of confused where the coverage is going. I feel like it's just essentially rubbing off of my face. I want to put on with a brush, but I also don't want to ruin a brush with this. So let's just try it. It's our last one. Let's do a little squeeze. Grab the 109 and let's just see if tapping this in does a better job. But see, the problem is the warmth of your finger needs to break those capsules. So that's where the brush is not actually ideal for this type of formula. You need that warmth and the grip of your finger to break those capsules. They're relatively hard to break on this formula in particular. I feel like this one's the most difficult by far, obviously, to blend in and to break down. Let me see if I can like re-blend this area and make it work. No, this one's just generally speaking terrible. There's no sunscreen in this one, which is interesting. So they only could put it in the other one, this one right here. But the gel one does not have sunscreen. Yeah, this one's just not it. It's looking better, I guess, as time has gone on. Like it's almost kind of almost there in terms of being blended in, but not quite. It's still really streaky and really, really difficult. For the amount of work and effort I had to put into blending this into my skin, like I mentioned earlier, you're better off just getting a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer that is close to your skin tone. They're more forgiving. They're not going to be this hard to blend in. Most of the time they have a nice high SPF in them, which is great for like the additional coverage, you know, in case you missed certain areas of your skin when you're actually applying your sunscreen. But all in all, I'd say these are definitely skippable. Too much work, too much effort. They're gimmicky without the payoff. So unfortunately, that's my thoughts on this one. I would definitely skip this one. This one was pretty much a nightmare to blend into my skin. Last but not least, this is also from Erborian. This is the CC Red Correct. So I'm going to say this right off the bat, even before trying this on my skin. This is going to be the type of product that's going to be best suited for anyone who has rosacea or an excessive amount of redness in their face. This is going to be an amazing product for adjusting and color correcting that redness and minimizing it prior to putting foundation on top, or wear it alone. Put some concealer in areas that you need some extra coverage and call it a day. This is not going to be the best suited product for me, but I want to test it out on my channel just so you can see how it works, if it's worth it for you, and if you're someone at home who has an excess amount of redness in your skin and or rosacea, then you might want to check this out. It is $46 just like the other product. There's only one shade in this to choose from. There's 2 different sizes to pick up, so if you want to get the travel size, test it out, see if it's worth the investment. It's nice that that's available. This is going to have a similar technology delivery system wise, where it has the encapsulated pigments inside it. You break them up as you rub them into your skin, and the rest is history. So let's try this one out. It's gonna look very green on my skin, but that's the whole point. This one also does have SPF 25 in it, and this is described as an automatic perfector, soothing effect for even complexion. This is gonna be specifically, once again, for anyone who has redness. So let's apply it with our fingertips. I show you what this looks like. It's going to look like a green color corrector, something that is very handy if you're a makeup artist to keep in your professional makeup kit. Now let's apply it to, I don't know where I have more redness. Let's just do both, honestly. Let's test this bad boy out. I'm going to rub it in with my fingertips and let's see. All right, let's rub this bad boy in. Feels nice. It feels like just like a nice moisturizer. This one is definitely heavy on the green. It should, in theory, still blend out to be a color that is going to suit my skin tone, because it is still color adjusting, but heavy on the color correction. I actually think it's done a fantastic job of, surprisingly, even though color theory wise it doesn't really make that much sense, it has done a nice job of kind of brightening my under eyes, which is a nice little surprise. It's definitely reduced the redness around my nose, where I have broken capillaries and just excess redness from allergies and all that good stuff. So this one has left me a little bit more ghostly than the other 2 have, but it's done its job. I can see that it absolutely adjusted any redness that was on my skin. It has evened me out. And like I said earlier, this is going to be either a great tool for anyone who has rosacea or redness to use either prior to your foundation, so then you can therefore use less foundation. It also is going to help with oxidation of your foundation as well. So if you are someone who has that issue with redness and you put a foundation on top and you notice as you're wearing that foundation, it starts to oxidize and deepen as you're wearing it, as your skin is adjusting to it. This could be a great product to utilize either in a small amount or a large amount, however much you need, to really reduce that risk of your foundations oxidizing as you're wearing them. So it could be just a really great tool for anyone who is suffering with redness, is what I'm trying to get to. And I think this is a really nice texture too. The texture of this one is night and day, so much better than the other one I just tested out. And definitely a better texture than the Elroel, because this one felt really goopy and really greasy on my skin. This one is actually drying down to a really nice, comfortable, satiny finish that's not too greasy, it's not too shiny. It's going to be good for all skin types in that regard. So it's not going to be overly juicy and glowy, and it's not going to be overly matte. So wherever you land as far as skin type goes, I think any skin type can wear this one. And as I'm wearing it, as it's adjusting to my skin, it's looking really pretty. It's looking really, really nice. Now let's do the true test where we see how much coverage this actually gave me. I'm going to grab another Q-tip, dip into some micellar water, and let's just do a stripe here. Yeah, I mean, it actually gave really nice coverage. I feel like this would also be a really great product to wear, you know, prior to a workout. If you are prone to redness, then that means also when you're working out, when you are, you know, getting your heart rate going, you're gonna experience more redness as you're doing those things. So like if you're doing Pilates, you know, weightlifting, running, walking at a fast pace, whatever it is you're doing, those can really accelerate the redness in your skin, make it even more pronounced and even more red. So using a product like this could really minimize that and really help you get through your workout. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that turn really red as they're working out. It could cause you to be a little insecure about it. So I don't know. I feel like this would be a really great product to minimize that, give you a little confidence boost, reduce that redness so you're not walking around feeling like a cherry tomato, you know? It's a good product. This one's really good. This one really, really impressed me for sure. Not really for my skin, but for someone out there who has redness, this is going to be a good one to pick up. And it gave really nice coverage. You could see the line right here. It's a nice full-on light coverage, which I think is always welcomed. And again, I'm just going to say it again. It's going to be great for underneath foundation to reduce redness, to get your skin prepped, to get that color correction going on prior to your foundation. And then you'll end up using less foundation on top. So it's pretty much a win-win. This one is definitely worth checking out. All right, so this last product we're going to be testing out on top of a full face of makeup. So I'm going to jump ahead, put a full face of makeup on, put a full beat on with powder, with blush, with bronzer, with all those good things, everything that I would normally wear when I'm doing my makeup. And then we'll see how well this pink sun cushion, sunscreen cushion SPF 50 with PA++++ is going to apply on top of a full beat, blend on top of a full beat, if it's going to disrupt it, if it's going to look normal. And if all goes well and this does apply nicely, this could be the best way to reapply your sunscreen on top of a full face of makeup. So let's test this out. I'm going to put a full beat on. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Full face of makeup is on. I'm set. I am lipped. I'm everything. I am ready to go and I'm ready to apply this and put this to the test and put this on top of my fresh beat of makeup. The Ping sunscreen cushion. This has SPF 50, like I mentioned. There's actually 3 different sizes to choose from. I believe I have the biggest size, which is, oh, just kidding, I have the medium size. So this is actually the medium size, and that retails for $30. The biggest size is 25 grams, that's $40. They also have a mini size, which could be really great for travel, for throwing in your purse, for just generally speaking, like on the go. Not that this is too big for on the go, but a mini is always nice. It says it's sold out for the mini, but the mini is $20. But before we put this on, let me actually read a little bit about this on their direct website. It's a foundation-free cushion that blocks UV rays and cools skin in just 1 second. That's interesting. So there's like a cooling technology in this product. Our non-stick sun cushion decreases skin temperature by up to 4.7 degrees. I did not know that about this product. I thought it was just like for reapplication purposes. That's pretty cool. It's a really hot day outside, so oh, and it's hot in my studio with these lights. So honestly, I'll be able to tell right away if this is going to cool down my skin because it's an inferno in the studio. And provides 8-proof protection against the elements, including UVA and UVB. Aloe vera leaf and plant extract are what help to cool and soothe your skin, while a vitamin complex ingredients tone and brighten, providing natural glow, keeping you smiling throughout the day. All of this in one super simple compact. This is sulfate, paraben, and steroid, phthalates, and allergen-free, not tested on animals. Let's just go into it now. So compact, this is what it looks like. SPF 50. My little sponge applicator is, oh, dirty for some reason. Like someone packed it with, and they had like, I don't know, not very clean hands. I think mine's been used. Mine's been used, I think. Oh. Should I just put it on and wash my face? I feel like I should just put it on and wash my face. That mine's definitely been used because there was like some film, like product film on the cap, and this is visibly dirty. I'm excited to try it. I'm gonna take one for the team. I'll wash my face and my hands, and I'll throw this out after and just buy a new, I don't know, like that's what? Why? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not being used. Maybe I'm just being overly paranoid. Let's just go for it. Let's act like it's brand new because we don't know for sure if it's been used. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna push in, gonna get this hopefully coated all over. Yeah, you can definitely see the visible sunscreen on the puff, and then you're supposed to tap it on. Well, that's all fine, but I think it's leaving me pretty Casper-y. So I'm pressing to reapply, pressing, we're tapping, we're reapplying. My blush and my bronzer are now nowhere to be seen on my face. Let's do my forehead, and then we'll just compare the side without the reapplication and the side with the reapplication of sunscreen, and let's just talk about how it looks. Okay, so first things first, all my makeup is now on the puff. I'm not that surprised, to be honest. So yeah, I do have more sunscreen on my face right now. I am definitely reapplied. Now that's what it looks on top of a full face of makeup, including cream bronzer, powder highlighter, cream blush, powder blush, concealer, foundation, and setting powder. All those things were on my face completely. like it is on this side. And you could see it visibly took away my blush. It lifted up everything right here. And I am left with, and you can see all my bronzers like right here in my hairline. And that's where the reapplication of the sunscreen is. It's left me looking very white casty and it's not cute. It's just not cute. To the touch, it's just greasy. It's not horribly greasy. It's not the most greasy thing I've ever put on my skin. Let's put it that way, but it's definitely very greasy. So oily skin, you're just gonna look pretty sweaty throughout the day. Does it feel cooling? There is an element of cooling happening. There's definitely a sensation of cooling going on in my skin right now, which I welcome. And I'm telling you, with the lights that are on me, they're very, very hot. It's like turning on the oven at full blast and opening the oven door. Like that's what it feels like to film with studio lights, like major studio lighting. So I am always hot when I'm filming, and this definitely does feel cooler on this side. I can definitely feel the difference on this side versus this side. But that also could be like a placebo effect due to me putting something that is wet on top of my skin. When you put something wet on your skin, you're gonna feel like an instant, quick fix of like cooling, but it is lasting longer, that sensation, than I would expect. So I actually would say this is definitely delivering a cooling sensation. I don't think it's a placebo effect. It's been on my skin for quite a few minutes at this point, and it definitely does feel pretty nice and pretty cooling. My thoughts are, this is not going to be the next gold standard for reapplying your sunscreen on top of makeup. As far as I'm concerned, sprays and a few sticks are okay for reapplication on top of a full face of makeup. This is not going to be the next best thing for that, just my opinion. Is this a nice product in general though? It is. Like, if I were to get one that wasn't suspiciously dirty, I would be a lot more happy with it. But that aside, I think this would be a great product in general. Like when you're traveling, when you're on an airplane, to reapply your sunscreen really quickly. I think you could just get away with putting this on top of a skin tint too for reapplication, because skin tints, you know, they're not as fussy as like a full face of makeup and blush and bronzer and all those good things. But for on top of actual makeup, I don't think this is delivering what it's saying. It's delivering reapplication, but it messed up my makeup in the process, therefore making it pointless, in my opinion. I would say you're better off getting a spray, spraying it all over, dousing your skin. At least that's not physically moving your makeup. It could be making it look more glowy and more like juicy, but it won't actually physically ruin your makeup with the application method. Although the idea is really cool, innovation is really cool. The cooling technology, like I mentioned, I do feel, and I think it's there, and I think it's effective. However, I just don't think this is good for reapplication on top of a full face of makeup. So those are my thoughts on this product. I wish it didn't take away my makeup. I wish I could say this was a hit for reapplication, but all in all, in my opinion, you're better off with the sprays. So that is one side without, and then one side with the reapplication. Okay, and that wraps up this video testing these color correctors and color adjusters. A lot of them were gimmicky in my opinion. I just don't feel like they're worth checking out, except there was one that stands out absolutely out of all these, and that is the Erborian CC Red Correct. This really did deliver what it said it was going to deliver. Without being gimmicky, it actually delivered a amazing reduction in redness. And I don't have a lot of redness in my skin, but if you are someone who does have redness, I highly recommend you check this out, either to wear alone with concealer, to wear to the gym, to wear underneath your makeup, just to color adjust and to color correct your redness. So this actually was really well done and just delivered exactly what it says it's going to deliver. It's color adjusting and redness reducing, and in the best way. Like, this was a phenomenal product. I really recommend this one if you have redness in your skin. The rest of them I don't feel like are necessary. The one that I liked the least, believe it or not, was the CC Water one. I thought that I was gonna like this one the most based on the texture of it and that it was described as more of a lightweight gel feeling. I love that. This was absolutely terrible to blend into your skin. It took way too much work, time, and effort, and therefore grab a good skin tint, like I mentioned earlier, and call it a day. This one, although it's interesting and although it did blend out to give coverage and really pretty coverage, I still feel like the colors that are available are really finicky and really limited. So for that reason, I don't recommend it. I think you're better off, again, just getting a good skin tint that is roughly your skin tone and more forgivable. And also the brush on the end was a little too prickly and a little too small to get the job done, and you really do need to do a lot of blending to get this to work on your skin, so therefore the brush isn't really that helpful. And although it's pretty, they need a lot more colors to choose from. And then speaking of colors, this one has the worst shade range to choose from. There's only 3 available. that I know of. I don't know if they're working on more. I don't know if there's more available somewhere else, but on the website that I bought this off of, there's only 3 available shades, and that's just not enough. This one was nice, and it did give really nice coverage, like really pretty coverage, to be honest. And this one blended in a lot easier than the Elroel, but I still don't think it's worth the hype and worth the money. It's $46 for this full size, and the fact that there's only 3 shades available, just I can't recommend it for that reason. So at least this one has 6, but it's more difficult to work with. This one only has 3, but it's way easier to apply and way easier to work with and manipulate on your skin. And then the Pink Sun Cushion, I just don't feel like it's that useful. Not on top of a full face of makeup, that is, maybe for just reapplying sunscreen on top of a skin tint or on top of like very minimal makeup, and also just maybe towards the end of the day when you don't really care necessarily how your makeup looks because you're heading home anyway. So if you have that in mind, it could be really great and useful for that reason. But let's say you're wearing a full face of makeup that you are wanting to keep looking nice till the end of the day. Let's say you have dinner at night or an engagement at night and you want to reapply your sunscreen on top of your full face of makeup like midday, like 1 or 2 p.m., then this is going to ruin it. So just keep that in mind. But those are my thoughts rounded up for all these products that we test out today. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you've seen the videos of this floating around on the internet and you've been curious about it, I really hope this answered all your questions. If you have any additional questions about these color adjusting products, leave them in the comments below. And if you had success with these products, also leave that in the comments below. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. And until then, bye.